right, what we're looking at today is some terminology. That means like vocab words, okay? What does linear mean? Straight line, good. Straight line. Yep, linear means a straight line. What is a function? Function is an activity after school. Yeah, but when we're talking about math, what's a function? An equation? Okay. So what is a linear function then? An equation. A straight line equation. Nice.
When we talked about functions, we did talk about the line test.
Yeah, we talk, so with functions, we talk about the vertical line test. Like this is not a function because when you put a line through it, it goes through there twice. So if we have a graph, and we have a line, if it does not go through there more than once, the vertical line test, it passes. Okay? All right. Let's move on to the next page. Turn it over. We should be right here. You need to stop talking. If you have a question, I would love to answer it, but you need to not be talking while I am teaching. Shh. Okay. What is the slope of a line? I kind of demonstrated a little bit.
Why?
Yeah.
The y-intercept seems like it's something different. Have anybody heard this before? If I say rise over run? Okay, so if you guys are going to step up onto a chair or on a stair, right? You can't go forward first. If I'm going forward first, right? You got to rise, you got to lift up, then up the stair, and then forward. Because, right, like, here's the stairs. I can't go forward first, right? Rise first, then forward. Okay? All right. What other thing can we say about slope? I have a little description that I wrote. Let's see if this makes sense to you guys. The amount you move up or down over the amount you move right or left. Yep, no problem. Hold on, let me write it down. The amount you move up or down over the amount you move right or left. Do you have another way?
We talked about change of change of the y value over the
Change of y over change of x.
and then we showed them the equation to that.
y2 minus y1. You guys remember this? Over x2 minus x1. That's the m. Okay. What is the y-intercept of a line? Beautiful. Where the line touches the y-axis. Anything else? Yep. Change of y over change of x. Because change is the difference between these two things. Where the line touches the y-axis. Anything else we said for intercept, y-intercept?
B value,
Okay.
value, starting value.
The initial value or starting value. Yep. Y equals mx plus b. That's the y-intercept. Okay. We're going to talk about this real world example now. Because I always get asked, Miss Murphy, when are we going to use this in real life? So this is a real world example. Okay. Nope, not yet. Okay, moving it up. No. Okay, I'm going to read.
What does the second one say? Initial or starting value.
Okay, I'm going to read the real world example. Glenn is planning on going canoeing. In order to rent a canoe, he will have to pay a one-time fee of $10 and then an additional $2 an hour. Okay, using your definitions, what is the y-intercept of the problem? What does it represent? So where would it start? $10, good. And what does that $10 represent? The initial, excuse me. The initial price. Okay. What is the slope of the problem? What does it represent? $2. Okay? Because each hour it changes. We multiply it. Each hour, he will pay $2 more. Okay. Can you write an equation using the slope-intercept form to represent this real-world problem? Okay. So we know it's y equals mx plus b is our equation, right? Which one's the b? 2. 2 is the b? That's the initial value? That's where we start?
Is it the y?
Okay, let's think about this.
No, it is.
What does the m mean? Shh. M is slope. What does the b mean?
Y-intercept.
Y-intercept. Okay, so read the little things below. Which one says y-intercept? Which, up here, which one of these, what numbers is it for the y-intercept? 10. Okay, what is the slope? 2. Because you start by paying $10 no matter what, and then the slope changes with every hour. So the first hour, you're going to pay $12, right? Because 1 times 2 is 2. 2 plus 10 is 12, right? The second hour, you're going to go 2 times 2 plus 10. So you're going to pay $14.
You can't solve that problem.
No, you just, but if I said, I took the canoe out for 10 hours, you're going to plug the 10 in for x. Okay, x equals, stop talking, the number of hours, y equals the money, the total cost. Okay, so if I go out on the canoe for 10 hours, I'm going to go 10 times 2. That gives me 20. Plus 10, it's going to cost me $30. Okay? So that's what the line is telling me. So it's solved for y. We could have solved it for x, but basically it changes over time depending on how many hours. So there's not just one answer. It depends on how many hours we do it. Okay? All right. Let's turn it over. We're going to look at these real world functions. And we're going to try to do them as well. Okay. We got to figure out what the slope, the y-intercept is, and then we'll write the equation. Remember, these are all in y equals mx plus b forms. What's m again?
Slope.
What's b? And y-intercept means where it started, right? Slope means what changes. Okay. John is joining a gym. He has to pay a joining fee of $45 and a $7 monthly fee. What is the slope? Which one changes? The slope is 7 and the y-intercept is? So how do I write this? Yep. Okay.
We're pretty good at this.
All right. What? Okay, let's read the next one. Shh. Aspen has memorized 5 of her spelling words. She plans on learning 4 new words every hour. What is the slope?
Y equals 4x plus y.
Wait. I didn't ask you what the equation was. The only thing I asked was what's the slope. Okay. What's the y-intercept? And so the equation then is?
Y equals 4x plus 5.
Okay. So some people use humor to make fun of something when they don't understand. So can I help you? Is there something that you're confused about? Because I'm assuming that people are using humor to deflect from their own insecurities about it. Because it's true. All right. Sarah earns an allowance of $10 a week for doing her chores around the house. She has already saved $75. What is the slope? Look at it. She earns $10 a week. So the y-intercept then is? So the equation is? Wait. The equation is, it should start with? Y equals?
10x plus 75.
Good. Okay, why don't you guys try the next 3 on your own? I'm going to read 1 aloud. You'll write it down. Nobody will say anything, then we'll check our answers. Okay, ready? I'm going to read it. You're going to write it. Nobody's going to say anything, then I'm going to read the next one. Demetrius is getting a new phone for text. The phone costs $60 per purchase, and then he will pay 15 cents per text. Don't say it out loud, but write down the slope, the y-intercept, and then the equation. Okay. Good. Shania is working, getting stronger. She can currently lift 10 pounds and plans on adding 2 pounds in a week. Don't say it out loud, but write down what the slope is, what the y-intercept is, and what the equation is. Yep. Number 6.
How long do
Kyle is trying to increase his running distance. He can currently run 3/4 of a mile and plans on adding an additional half a mile each week. What is the slope? What is the y-intercept? What is the equation? Maybe before you go, make sure you sign out.
I'm sorry. sorry, I didn't know there was enough for us on that.
Okay. All right. So you should have gotten, for the slope for number 4, 0.15. You should have gotten a y-intercept of 60. And it should be y equals 0.15x plus 60. Shh. Number 5, your slope should have been 2. Your y-intercept should have been 10, and it should be y equals 2x plus 10. Seriously? Pull it together. Number 6, your slope's 1/2. Your y-intercept's 3/4, and your equation is y equals 1/2 x plus 3/4. Okay. All right, let's move on. Questions about any of those before we move on? Okay, then we're moving. Okay. Types of slopes. If I'm going to make something positive, what is it going to look like? Starts low, moves up. So we're going to say that. We're going to say starts low. At the left. Goes up as you move right. Every time I look at you, that makes me happy. Good. Negative. Looks like what? Show me with your arms. Okay. Starts high. At the left. Goes lower as you move right. Show me what your arms with a 0 slope looks like. Good. Good. Horizontal line is like how I'd like to describe it. What about undefined? Show me with your arms what undefined looks like. Good.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Vertical. Okay, things to think about. What makes a 0 slope 0? Yeah. What makes a 0 slope 0? No change, right? No change. Why do we call a vertical line undefined? Because you can't climb it. Anything else you want to add to that, Ms. Huff?
So now I looked into this. I did this on my own. I have a terrible time with, I don't know what you want to do, but it's the positive ones, it goes to the right or it goes to the left. It doesn't make any sense to me. So I actually use the notation when we do behavior and show them that, as x goes towards positive infinity, y goes towards positive infinity. Now, did not write that down. That's what I did for my hard term. That's what I need.
Oh, mine's still
Right down the hall. Okay. Did you say anything different for 0 or
We talked
for
about
undefined?
how the slope for the 0 slope is 0 over some number. And then the slope for the undefined is some number over 0. And then it's x over, or x equals that number or y equals that number. No, like the equation
Yeah.
is y equals or x.
So when it's 0, yeah, it's like y equals some number,
Yep.
a number. And when it's undefined, it's x equals some number.
Yep. I think we said there's no rise, but there's a run, or there's no run,
Okay.
but there's a rise.
Run, no, rise, rise, no, run. Okay, let's put those phones away, guys. Keep them away. Do we need another minute for this, or are we good?
We need another 2 minutes.
Okay, if you're ready to turn to the next page, you can. I'm just going to read it. Steps for finding slope. Start at a bottom point. Since slope is rise over run, count up and then over, or right until you get to the next point. Repeat step 1 to make sure you get the same numbers. Write your slope as a fraction with your rise as the numerator and the run as the denominator. If your line points up to the left and down to the right, your slopes will be negative. Going to the left is negative direction of a number line. If your lines point up to the right, your slope is positive. Right is the positive direction of a number line. Simplify your slope. Steps for finding the y-intercept. Since your y-intercept is the point where the graph crosses the y-axis, find the intersection. If the point is above the origin, the y-intercept is a positive number for how many coordinates you count up. If the point is below the origin, the y is the negative number for how many coordinates you go count down. Then we're going to look at this example. So I'm going to move on. I just read this whole part, so we're going to look right here. So we've got a y-intercept right here. Everybody see that? It's below the x-axis, so that's why it's -1. Okay? If we're going to go to the next one, we go up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. That's how we get our slope of 1 over 2. Okay? All right. We are going to do some of this homework together right now. I'm going to do 1, and then I'm going to check you guys off with 2 through 6 before you leave. So let's do number 1 real quick. Okay. So, Ms. Huff, will you pass out this homework for me?
Ken, sit down.
He's getting over here.
Is this the homework?
Okay. So we are looking at your homework, which is writing the equation from a graph. And we're starting right here at where it crosses the y-axis. Which one's the y-axis, by the way? Excuse me. Go sit down. Stop getting up. Go sit down, Darrell. Stop getting up. Go. 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 You need a pencil? I got a pencil. Stay seated. Okay. Okay. So which is y? Is y up and down or right to left? Up and down. So this other one is x. Okay. Where does my graph go across? Here's my graph right here. My line. Where does it cross the y-axis? 2. Positive 2. So that goes for B, guys. Okay. Now I'm going to look right here. How much am I going up to get here? I go up 1, 2, 3. How much do I go to? And I'm going to the right. How much am I going? So my slope is 3 over 4. So what's my equation? How do I write it? Y equals 3 over 4 what? Good. Okay. You need to show me before you leave 2 through 6. Go. And then the rest is going to be homework.